So this here is my highly professional notes of what I found exciting or interesting or notable from this patch update. So I'll just blast through these quickly. So for the winter stuff, the first 3 interactions with a Tree of Light in the settlements will grant you diamond gypsum, which you can then use to create an orb to get your cast for your expertise. And I'm pretty sure from what we've read, you're going to have to interact with Tree of Light in 3 different settlements to get that, not the same one. And the more you do town board missions in the towns, you'll get better rewards for that Tree of Light, something like that. To get the winter tokens, it's going to act like a faction dude that you've used so far. You'll go out, you'll collect things such as the lost presents and these gleamite crystals, which happen at night. You'll take it back to the Yeti, which will be in the winter villages, holiday villages, and then you can turn them in like you would faction tokens, and then you get rewards. You can choose your rewards, so you can get armor skins, apparently weapon skins for your houses, furniture. I've seen them, they're all like covered in ice and snow. It's kind of cool. And then you can get weapon patterns as well, which you'll come onto later. There is a winter quest which starts at level 25 and will end at level 60. Expertise UI should be active when the game comes back up. There will be a kiln in Reekwater, Ebonscale, Great Cleave, Shatter Mountain, and Eden Grove, one of the outposts up there. And what you can do with the kilns, that's where you craft your gypsum casks and orbs and all that stuff. There are 8 different types of gypsum, and you get them from loads of different like activities. So that's trading, outpost rush, expeditions, killing elite mobs, and lots of other stuff that you do. You're going to get timeless shards now, which will allow you when you're crafting to choose an attribute as well as a perk, and you can get these guaranteed from expeditions. Malevolence, Imperial Palace, and North Dynasty Shrine are now up leveled to 66, which you should probably include in your chest runs. And now you can get gypsum from the mobs. It may be worth doing staggered chest runs, so maybe going out in groups of 20 or 10 even, so your guaranteed drops from your elite bosses as you run around. Maybe worth a test. End game difficulty adjustments reduced, basically. Okay, so all the end game stuff, especially up in Murkgard, the difficulty of the stuff has been reduced because the last patch in November they made it too hard, so it's now reduced in difficulty. There are 60 new quests in Morningdale, 13 new quests in Rest Ashore, 7 new housing quests, which will give you housing items and stuff for your houses. They have updated the PvP damage formula well over my head. I don't understand it. My brain's too small. And the extra crit damage on average will be reduced by 3 to 5%. They have introduced new gathering speed perks. Not like mega fast, but it's like up to I think 25-30%. You can get extra speed for your gear. And then there is a bunch of healing reduction perks that are coming out, and there is a bunch of DPS perks that are coming out. Each of them has their own like individual values and will be used for different things, so make sure you check them out and what may suit your build. On some of the weapons, so Path of Destiny has been had its reduced hit stun from 1 second to 0.33 of a second. Great Axe crit damage has been reduced from 40 to 30%, and the homing range detection from 4.5 to 3.5. I'll put in brackets here, I don't actually know what a meter is in game, so again, worth doing a little bit of testing. Putrefying Scream reduced the max percentage from 50% to 30%, and the spear has had a homing buff in general. Lots of juicy updates on the spear. Definitely worth checking out the Void Gauntlet blade, because that's also really powerful. No gravity vortex on the brute in Outpost Rush. Pretty massive change for Outpost Rush players. Outpost Rush brutes can be staggered now, and a big one for invasions, invasion brutes can also be staggered. Brutes aren't too bad in invasions, but whatever, that's cool that they can be staggered. So the trade skill aptitude, this is a big update. Long story short, what it will do is it will reward you for continuing to craft after you get to level 200, and there'll be three dots equally placed around your level 200 symbol. Each time you hit one of these markers, you'll be rewarded, and apparently the more you go round, the more rewards you're going to get, and the better the rewards are going to get, apparently. So that's quite a big one. You will be rewarded with something called equipment patterns, which will guarantee a 600 gear score craft. It's more expensive apparently, but you will get a guaranteed 600 gear score. There is a boss named Unhallowed Soul of Murkgard, who now has 3 named drops, potentially worth farming. If I can remember, it was a spear, a life staff, and an amulet are the legendary drops that he can drop, along with everything else. And finally, arena keys now require rune stones instead of corrupted shards, and the reason for that is arenas and expeditions are going to become more valuable for everyone, and they don't want the resources to compete. So you'll have one type of resource for the arena keys and another type for the expeditions. And that is my summary of what I found fucking interesting in this massive update. This is the start of the update. What we're going to do is we'll go through what's happening in the winter festival. So the new shit that's going to be happening basically for this patch, which they said lasts until January 11th, I think, off the top of my head. Mid-January. This is going to last till mid-January. But if you're watching today, right now, then the patch will go down in about 3 hours from now. So 12 p.m. UTC. And expected downtime's 3 hours. Maybe longer, maybe less, given the past. So what we'll do is we'll go through the winter festival first. So I'm not going to go over everything. I will put the links in chat and on YouTube and everywhere for you to see if you want to read through everything individually. But we'll just go through the main stuff. The long story short, all your towns are going to be looking wintry, nice and snowy. They're going to have a big tree in the middle where you can get dailies from. There's going to be ice caves. There's going to be northern lights. There's going to be faction token style quests. There's going to be loads. And if you've jumped on a PTR already, you'll see that it actually looks really fucking cool. Really cool. Okay, so winter tokens. The player takes on the cause of the Winter Wanderer to collect winter tokens. So you'll go to a little holiday village. I think there's 4 of them, and in the holiday villages there'll be this Yeti dude, this guy, and what you essentially do is you complete quests for him, and he will work, you know, like your faction shop currently. So you collect tokens and you take it to him and redeem stuff from him. There's going to be new items in the store, including, as they say here, furnishings, weapons, new armor skins, emotes, that sort of stuff. Standard shit. And then the holiday villages. Winter Wanderer set up 4 villages, which is what we just spoke about. So that's where we carry out the quest. This one's kind of exciting. What is doing, mate? The ice caves. Ice caves are appearing all over Eternum because of the Winter Warrior's desire for forever winter. I haven't actually seen one myself yet, so I'm pretty excited to check this out. These caves will remain behind after the event as scars on the land. So these will be here forever in the game. I don't actually know where they are yet, so we're gonna have to go and find out and yeah, go exploring and look for these. The actual activities themselves, you basically get town project board quests. I believe to upgrade each settlements, the Tree of Life improves daily rewards. So I think the more you do the town project boards, the better the daily rewards you're gonna get are. Bloody hell. This is kind of important, so let's make a note of this. So yeah, each day the first 3 interactions with the Tree of Light in settlements will grant presents that will also grant a lockbox with a gift of appreciation for participating. Lost presents will be recovered in turn for winter tokens. I believe it's the next 2. So Gleamite collecting. So there'll be Gleamite showers, or a new random dynamic event that occurs at night throughout Eternum. Keep your eyes and ears open as you search for locations. You hunt the Gleamite crystals. Exchange the harvested crystals for winter tokens. So you will take your lost presents and your Gleamite crystals to the winter holiday village, they've called it, in return for your tokens. Okay, and then there is a winter convergence quest, so all the way from level 25, and it will conclude at level 60. So in short, the good stuff so far are first 3 interactions with the Tree of Light and the settlements will give you a little gift, and or I'm not sure if this is what your gift is going to be, but it could be or free diamond gypsum, which will allow you to create an orb to get 1 level of expertise every day throughout winter. Pretty cool. So you get your tokens from the lost presents and the Gleamite crystals, and there is a winter quest line from level 25 through to 60. Okay, so big one really. End game update. We renamed the high water mark to expertise. and now display the expertise values in the UI. That's good. I didn't think that was coming out on this update, so this is super cool. I believe if you haven't seen it yet, I should be able to show you a picture here. Yeah, so if you can see next to your weapons or your armor, you'll have this purple number, which will represent your gear score, your expertise. So as that levels up, you'll see that this number levels up as well. Let's hope there's no bugs and we're all back down to 520, eh? Oh, that'll be funny. So this is the gypsum. So there is a new resource called gypsum, and basically every day you can acquire this gypsum resource, and there's different types of it which will allow you to create different types of orbs, which will then allow you to select armor or weapon blasts, they've called them, which will then level up your weapon expertise. It's all about leveling up your expertise here. So these are the different types of gypsum you can get. So obsidian gypsum, defeating level 60 open world named bosses, typically found in elite landmarks. So potentially chest runs, it might be better to do them as a 15-man or a 20-man rather than a 80-man Zerg. Would probably mean you'll get more gypsum from doing these runs. As you know, if you're a massive group, the chance of getting a drop is pretty low. So potentially that could be better. We're gonna have to do some testing on that. Sapphire gypsum, defeating the final bosses of Lazarus and Genesis. I know a lot of us now have been doing portal trains to get your materials for the keys. So a lot of people have been saving up materials for these. Ruby gypsum, found in Outpost Rush caches. A few PvPers. Let's go. Outpost Rush, please. Emerald gypsum, found in the trade skill aptitude reward containers. Citrine gypsum, found in arena caches. This is good because arenas are pretty worthless right now. Amethyst gypsum, found in breach caches. Topaz gypsum, found on hostile creatures level 55 plus, but only after consuming a special attunement potion that can be crafted at a tier 5 camp. Craft the potion, drink it, and start defeating level 55 plus hostile creatures anywhere in the world to find them. This potion can only be crafted once per week. Probably won't be doing that one too much. Diamond gypsum, found only during major events in the tournament. For the Winter Convergence Festival, level 60 players can earn this rare diamond gypsum for the first free trees of light they interact with in the settlements. Okay. Okay. So when I read it earlier, what I thought was you'll be able to interact with this tree or a tree 3 times. What it sounds like, you need to go to 3 different settlements and interact with 3 different trees to get your diamond gypsum. That's all the different ways you can acquire this gypsum, then level up your expertise. As far as I'm aware, yes, there'll still be you know, if you do a chest run or you kill an elite mob that's hard, you know, 65 plus or whatever, then yeah, your watermark still has a chance to increase. The old school way still works, but I think the idea is it's not as effective as this system they're bringing out. But the way you craft it is in a kiln station at all endgame zones. As far as I'm aware, there's one in Reek Water, there's one in Ebonscale Reach, and then there's one in all of the 3 top zones. So Eden Grove, Shatter Mountain, and Great Cleave. Here we go. To turn down the general chances of getting an expertise bump to compensate for the guaranteed bumps that were added with the gypsum. Elite chest odds were reduced a little, and open world bosses were reduced a lot. Expedition bosses will remain the same. Good morning. This is quite a big one as well. So depending on your server, people are charging for expedition spots. Instead of the standard looking for group, I'm going to join you because I'm a healer. It's like, okay, you're a healer, fine, great, you still got to pay me 1,000 gold to get in on this expedition. So expeditions are becoming more and more valuable. In addition to gypsum drops, each expedition boss will guarantee a random expertise bump. Note, arena bosses also guarantees a bump. So you're going to get your drop plus each boss will give you a bump as well. Fixed all chests in Lazarus and Genesis so they have a chance to provide end game expertise bumps. Added the timeless shards. The timeless shards are pretty important now. So timeless shards, a new crafting ingredient that will be used to guarantee specific stats on weapons and armor. This is fucking huge. All right, Vez, mate. A timeless shard is a crafting artifact that enables the player to craft an item with specific attribute bonus while still being able to use a craft mod to guarantee a perk. But in short, you can now choose your attributes and your perks, or a perk. Ew. Timeless shards are guaranteed to drop from expedition bosses and have a chance to drop from elite chests in expeditions and elite points of interest. Kind of big. Malevolence and Imperial Palace and North Dynasty Shrine. So basically ebb and scale. Both of these are now classed as end game, level 66. Increase the level of end game corrupted breaches to 66. We're gonna need bigger zergs. Made a number of adjustments to the end game difficulty to compensate for some accidental overtuning we did in the November patch. If you've been up north, a lot of you will realize, well, not necessarily just up north, but up north is big, how hard things have got. Our goal is to find a middle ground between the being end game content being too easy and then the overtuned. So hopefully they've met in the middle ground now. Added an elite chest to the upper harrow in Merkgard near the named commander Archos. Some kind of smaller changes. This is kind of a, I don't know if this is a sad one or not. So Sheng was mentioning it last night actually before I logged off. Daisy the Dancing Bear was like, I don't know, it was like a landmark on our, when we first started chess runs. So months ago now, we'd always jump off the waterfall and meet Daisy the Dancing Bear at the bottom of the waterfall and then kill her. It was like it was a moment. And now she's gone from that waterfall. The Forbidden Ritual, discontinued and replaced with a fast travel option. New fast travel, yes please, thank you very much. Several elite chests were moved into the final boss encounters of the Imperial Palace, the North Palace Shrine. Oh, this is great. Scorpius difficulty adjustments. I got a quest there and I was like, I ain't going in Scorpius, man. It is painful. They've reduced the difficulty of the elite tendrils and hellmouths and the named corrupted heavy. Couple more POI changes. Dead Man's Cove reduced the difficulty of the named ghost. What? Dead Man's? No. All right. Brightwood Isle reduced the difficulty of 2 named ghosts. Herville reduced the difficulty. Reduced. Moved an existing elite chest. Reduced the difficulty. Lots of difficulty reductions. All right. Okay. There's a lot going on, man. There's a lot going on. World experience updates, changes, things. Improvements added to the main story quest. I like that they're gearing up the main and the new quest lines. People that play the game for the first time. Hopefully keep them engaged. Destiny Unearthed has received a soloable option. The nose has improved level design and new tasks. Kind of makes you want to go and repeat it and see if they're actually really good. Triumphant Return now requires players to extinguish fires. Okay. Shit. Added supplemental territory quests. 16 new quests to Morningdale and 13 new quests to Restless Shore. Just as I was trying to complete all my quests, they've added more. Great. New housing quests. 7 quests added that are unlocked as players progress into their territory standing. These quests allow players to assist an idealistic architect as he undertakes a bold mission to construct new houses and the rewards of Eternum. The architect will extol the virtues of home ownership and reward players with new furniture and decor. Let's see what these quests are all about then. So you got to seek out Giacomo in the settlement in First Light, Everfall, Monarch's Bluff, or Windswood to get started. Yay! It's gonna be good, man. I think it's gonna be good. Even like these changes are great as well, but I'm just pretty excited for them to bring out a a cool winter patch with wintry vibes. Added more info to tell players that PvP faction mission player kills don't reset on death. Okay, combat and AI. Due to an issue in our initial PvP damage formula that caused lower gear to be more beneficial in damage mitigation, we have updated our formula. Okay, so the damage formula update adjusted the way armor mitigation was calculated to use enemies gear score value instead of your average gear score. This is far too complicated for my small brain, but I'm going to read it anyway. To adjust for the difference in armor mitigation, we increased damage low level players due to high level players and reduced the damage that high level players do to low level players. All right, crit damage application. Critical damage bonuses from masteries or perks are now applied additively instead of multiplicatively. On average, this will reduce the extra damage they provide. On average, this will reduce the extra damage they provide by 3 to 5%. Again, far too complex for my small brain, but that's what's happening, boys. Damage is reduced by 3 to 5%. Shit. Buffer windows. A general consistency pass has been done across all weapons to adjust the buffering window for dodges, abilities, and basic attacks. I can't wait to get into game and see if it actually feels different. The updated buffer window starts on the first frame of the attack that would deal damage, or on the first casting frame in the case of abilities that do not deal damage. Fixed an issue where you could repeatedly dodge while in an exhausted state if you weren't pressing any directional inputs. Man, why didn't I find this? I could do with a lot of dodges. I could get fucked. Abilities which previously only prevented dodging, such as Ice Shower, have been updated so they can now also prevent jumping. What? Fixed an issue where players could clip through outcropping collision by using certain abilities while prone. No, that was a thing. Fixed an issue where players could desync their unsheathed weapon by repeatedly using prone and dodge commands. Wait, how do people find this? It baffles me every time a new patch notes comes out and they find there's fixes for things that are like, what? I'm impressed. Anyway, there's just some general navigation fixes there. Okay, quite a big one. Our perks: Exhilarate, updated description to clarify, blah blah blah. Retaliate gem perk. Updated description to clarify that the effect provider's perk only lasts a specific number of hits. Added status effect. Also increase the number of hits a player can perform while Retaliate is active from 1 to 3. Keen Berserk. Fixed an issue where the perk tooltip was displaying inaccurate HP percentages. Additional perks added: login efficiency, mining efficiency, skinning, harvesting. Plagued crits. Critical strikes against targets below 50% health inflict disease for 6 seconds, reducing the healing effectiveness of the target. I mean, that's pretty cool, especially since most healing goes towards people below 50% health. This is going to be a one to look out for. Plague strikes. Heavy attacks against targets inflict disease for 8 seconds, reducing healing effective. Mate, there's a lot of healing effectiveness reducing going on here by 10 to 25%. Thwarting, is that how you say this? Thwarting. Life staff getting the reduced well, the life staff not directly, indirectly taking a bit of a beating. However, it only applies if people start to fucking use these perks. Thwarting counter, deal 5 to 50% additional damage against targets with active grit. Thwarting strikes, deal 3 to 12% additional damage while you have active grit. Oh, this could be nice for the old Warhammer. Morning, boys. Morning, Dans. GG last night. GG. Trenchant strikes, fully charged heavy attacks, deal 3 to 50% additional damage. Mate, get me on some of this. Let's go. Fully charged heavy attacks, deal 5 to 20 additional crit damage. All right, so we'll continue. Rend, fully charged heavy attacks, apply rend for 7 seconds. 5 seconds cooldown. Recovery, fully charged heavy attacks, heal the player for 10 to 15% of the damage dealt. Mate, these are gonna be fucking interesting. Aversion, you take 2 to 4% less damage from ranged physical light attacks, light and heavy attacks, sorry, and same for ranged elemental. This kind of interesting. A cheeky buff for gathering perks here, which is kind of cool. And then I would say the conclusion for this is lots more damage, and a lot of healing reduction perks coming out. Okay, so combat and AI, no fighting about the healing. We need more deaths. People need to die more. Nothing on luck yet. We will continue through. All right, outpost rush. Initial spawn areas now have barriers preventing enemies from spawn camping. Fix the crash that could occur. Cool. Okay. Using a consumable will now cancel aiming, weapon mastery descriptions, blah, blah, blah. Fixed an issue where players could drop below 0 mana. Okay, boys, onto the juice. So, yeah, the juice is the weapons. I don't think it's worth going over every single weapon, but let's have a kind of summarize if we can. Okay, rapier, Tondo. Okay, flesh up there. Interacts with gravity to prevent it. Okay, that's good. Slightly reduced recovery time. Fixed an issue where the haste granted by speed was applying at a shortened duration. Okay, so just some slight changes of the rapier, nothing too drastic. Fire staff. Burnout. Update how the ability interacts with gravity to prevent it from being used to traverse up steep inclines. Nothing really. Okay. The Warhammer. This is the big one. Path of Destiny. Reduced hit stun from 1 second to 0.33 second. Gonna be interesting, especially on those points in the wars. Bow, rain of arrows. The bleeding effect from rain of arrows can no longer be stacked by multiple players using the ability on the same target. This change was made to keep the ability consistent with other AoE skills that can be stacked on top of each other. It can no longer be stacked. You are right. I ignored that because it didn't mean much to me. Updated how this ability of gravity prevented from being used to reverse up steep climbs. Warhammer doesn't have an ability called charge unless they've changed it. Okay, rain of arrows, we've just gone through that. Blah blah blah. Fix an issue that caused this upgrade to increase damage of each hit instead of after each hit. Trying to skip the stuff that doesn't really matter. Aimed throw, increased recovery before being able to cancel out from the first 0.1 second of the attack. The 0.45 seconds of the attack. Heavy attack reduced recovery time by 0.15 seconds. Okay, live staff. One we're all interested in. Splash of light. Their description. Okay. Just the description update. Beacon. Fixed an issue where healing buff would persist on the caster after leaving the circle. Debuff, boys. Ice Gauntlet. Pylon dodge. Update totem. Blah, blah, blah. Nothing massive there. Entombed burst. Reduced mana cost from 20 to 10. Increase Ice Tomb health. 50%, 75%. Fastest health. Some minor changes. Endurance strikes. The grit windows for attacks empowered by his passivity have had a consistency pass to make sure that they only last until the end of the strike windows. Bloodlust. Updated, sure. Light attacks and non-fully charged every day. Reduced homing range detection from 4.5 meters to 3.5 meters. Base crit damage reduced from 40 to 30%. Bloodlust haste bonus reduced from 30 to 20. Reap initial damage reduced from 110 to 70%. It's a big change because it's like the first time the Great Axe has kind of really had a bit of a knock, but this isn't that big, and this is the big one people are talking about. Oh my god, Great Axe has been nerfed. Oh my god. I don't think that's that bad, man. I don't think that's that bad. I don't even know what a meter is in game, but that doesn't, I don't think that's gonna be too bad. You find screen perk. I believe you made some money off these perks on the market. Juiced the max percentage it could scale up from 50% to 30%. I think that's quite a big jump. So this is going to be interesting. Still powerful, I think. Void Cooler, I didn't know many people would use that. Fixing where Void Cooler passive would trigger with regular base attacks. Fixing issue where Void Cooler cooldown would reset when swapping weapons. Glimpse of the Void. Fixing issue where Glimpse of the Void. Blah blah blah. Danneh could trigger backstabs. Okay, so the big one on the Void Gauntlet is the screen perk. So one onto the spear. I know a few people that are excited by this. But increased the hit shape size and attack of homing on all thrust attacks. So I spent some time in the PTR, and this is really interesting. So long story short, you can, you know, imagine this is a player. Fuck, how do I explain this? Here's the player. I don't know how to explain it. Basically, you can attack a player at like a 45-degree angle, and it will kind of I can pull you in. It will home you in on that person. And it felt quite big. I don't know. I haven't used the spear too much before. On the PTR, it felt pretty powerful. So this is going to be one to test again, one to look out for. Go out and do some testing on this one. Skewer, increase the lunge distance by 50%. Evaporate, increase rotation speed during the ability. Strong condition, fixtures with strong condition buff will be cancelled using honing stone. Strong condition no longer shows text pop up when triggered. So there is more weapon adjustments below from what I saw. That's a few of the current changes there. General shit. Removed the gravity vortex ability from the outpost rush corrupted ogre. I believe it's the one that pulls you, yeah. So you know when he like yeah, he pulls all of the people around him underneath him, as Sheng put it correctly there. The sucky skill. Quite a big change, that one. I think that's awesome. Fix an issue preventing outpost rush corrupted ogres from being staggered, so they can now be staggered. Fix an issue preventing invasion brutes from being staggered. Bloody hell. Maybe people will start killing them now. Morning Tay. Yeah, they do get killed in outpost rush, but it only happens when one team is killing Baroness Hane and the other team is still capping mid, and you got about 15 of you attacking the brute. That's the only time it ever happens, but that is very rare as well. I actually don't. Entropy. I don't know what it is. Who it is? Elite boss. Up in Eden Grove, Malevolence, right? Okay, so he or it. I believe it's an elite boss, according to good old New World fans. Let's go. The wolf on the bottom floor. Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you, thank you. I did not know. I haven't been to Malevolence for a long time. Fixing issue causing heavy eye carrots. Spring stag. The spring stag has cleaned up its diet and will no longer drop motes while it moves. Hold on a minute. A spring stag was shitting out motes and I didn't know about it. Mate, why don't you boys bring me this intel? Fixed a rare issue that allowed boss enemies to prematurely use their group wipe ability to kill all players. Simon Gray. Fixed a rare issue allowing Simon's consume ability to deal damage to himself. Poor Simon. Depths. Okay, we don't really care about Lazarus and Garden and Genesis at this point. Fixed an issue that could cause damage lunging spear attack to miss players in melee range. Scylla. Fixed an issue causing Scylla's arcane wave attack to hit players twice. Arcane snares to execute players who are in death's door. Arcane bomb spell to continue casting after she is dead. I think I heard a few people getting killed after she died. There's still another issue with that. Okay, they're still looking into continued fixes. Nothing mega there. Okay, decrease spawn rate once. Nothing major there. Economy, progression, and loot. This is a pretty exciting change for crafters. Let's read through all of this because I don't know shit really. So you want to continue rewarding the efforts you make, craft items for yourself, your friends, or to make some coin on the trading post. So we have introduced trade skill aptitude. Upon reaching level 200 in a trade skill, the leveling circle UI will update to show 3 markers. We worked out what this meant before. There's going to be 3 markers, like equal distance from each other on the circle. Earning trade skill XP will begin progressing you again. And when you reach one of these markers, you'll be awarded with a container of useful items that are mostly trade skill relevant. Thank you, Dundern. I love you, man. Such as craft mods, special ingredients, and even schematics and recipes. So basically, keep trade skilling, keep crafting, and you'll continue to get rewarded. Each subsequent marker awards with a more spectacular container with more rewards than the one before. Lovely. Getting enough XP to go all the way around the circle will increment the aptitude counter by 1. This counter will continue counting so you can keep track of how many times you've wrapped your progression around the top level. And that is dangerous. We've also introduced a new type of reward with this system: equipment patterns. Equipment patterns are crafting artifacts that enable you to craft the guaranteed gear score 600 item that has a specific appearance. Patterns require a significant amount of powerful crafting resources to create, but will guarantee a gear score 600 item. Patterns still roll perks, and players have the normal amount of control over their outcome with craft mods and Azoth. Equipment patterns have a small chance to drop from Arcana, weaponsmithing, armoring, and engineering aptitude reward caches. Any big crafters in chat excited about this? Crazy Doctor, yes. Tay's not convinced by their terminology. Spectacular. Okay, refining. Added refining recipes that let you refine 250 of a tier 5 raw ore, wood, fiber, or rawhide into 1 legendary material. For instance, you can now convert 250 orichalcum ore into 1 tovium. Okay, that sounds like a lot. Orichalcum ingots can now be crafted with platinum as well as star metal. Yep, we saw that on the PTR. That's cool. This is going to be interesting. I don't think this is the best way of getting your legendary materials, but it's another route, which is cool. Loot. There are a number of knights in the game that have valuable named items for level 20 to 25 players. Any new players out there? Seek them out and take their treasures. The Gash named ring previously had the incorrect gem slotted into it. Okay. Faction shields no longer have a damage perk on them. Ground shields now have refreshing reward. Fight shields have keenly fortified. And tower shields now have hated. Man, come on, give the tower shield some love. I use it in PvP. I don't want the hated. Not cool. The Moonless Knight Void Gauntlet was renamed to Wine Dark Knight. All right. The primordial weapon set was previously mentioned the Tower Shield and Ice Gauntlet. These have now been added and dropped from some activities as the other primordial weapons. The Unhallowed Soul of Murkgard, named the Eye erroneously, did not have any drops. It now has 3 name drops: a spear, a life staff, and an amulet. Let's check him out. The Unhallowed Soul of Murkgard. More feminine armor appearances have been added to the game as well. Drops. Lovely. What's up, boys? Nera, Earl. Unhallowed Soul of Murkgard. Might be worth checking out. Onwards, man. We're nearly there, boys. Crafting. We've removed corrupted shards and lodestone as required ingredients to craft arena keys. Added 5 runestones instead. We did this to make arena keys not compete for the same resource as expedition keys. Fishing. Mad Tom fish now breaks down into Mad Tom toxins, which can be used in alchemy. A number of fishing armor items are now eligible to be bought and sold on the trading post. These are all items that a player could potentially not get during fishing quests. This update ensures that all players have access to all pieces of armor to complete a set if they wish. Go on, fisherman. Ew. Okay, notable bug fixes. I wonder if that's the running bug fix in the wars, boys. The token and coin cost of tier 2. Okay. War previously did not drop a War Void Gauntlet. A Void Gauntlet has been added as a possible reward. Fixes causing Void Gauntlets not to naturally roll their specific. Okay. Fixes causing chests in Lazarus and Garnet Genesis to not respect the gear score value of the expedition. Fixes causing trading post purchase taxes to go to the settlement on which the item was listed. Ayo! Fixed issue that was causing the nothingness Void Gauntlet require eternal license of empty heart. Okay. UX, UI, and social. Adjusted system so that it loads in different screens depending on where the player is loading into. Man, my loading screens for New World are fucking long. Hopefully this helps. Added tips to the loading screens, which will be a mix of general tips and specific to your destination. That's completely unnecessary, but really cool. Updated social and navbar UI. Updated the art and layout of the menu. Okay, that is a change. Not sure if we like it yet, but there is a change to the menu when you press escape and along the top. Update added room for social panel and made it more readable. Added audio to a bunch of UI actions to help provide feedback if the action was successful. Preparing gear, entering housing, submenus, changing submenus in the company selection. Expanding, collapsing lists and crafting stations. Fissures causing pings with some expeditions to display underground. Added better support for multi-monitor setups. What happens in my game is if I'm in New World and I've got, for example, Streamlabs up on the left, then yeah, it completely lags my Streamlabs. Okay, December endgame update. So this is kind of what we've been through already, but there may be some minimal changes here, things that we probably haven't even experienced yet. So this one, for example, reduce the cost of crafting a gypsum. So to craft the gypsum ore, boys, it's going to cost you 2.5 gold, and then to get the cast, it's going to cost you 5 gold. Reduce the cooldown on topaz from weekly down to daily. What did topaz do? Hostile creatures. Oh, okay, that was the potion. Okay, so the potion is daily, not weekly. Gypsum earn cooldown timers from 22 hours to 18 hours, just to give a little more leeway to people's play schedules. Adjusted the way expertise bumps work, so there is a minimum as well as a maximum. The minimum is set to 2. The maximum starts at 5 and ramps down to 2. Our goal is to average around 35 bumps required to get from min to max expertise. So basically, you will need, if you don't do anything except the gypsum, for example, 35 gypsum casts on average you get from 520 to 600 gear score for each piece of armor and each weapon. Gypsum is now rewarded for completing an event rather than given in the reward cache. Yeah, perfect. Okay, perks, we've been through these. I think they've probably changed slightly. The values here I think have changed a little bit. Won't worry about them. Outpost rush, fictional group players would incorrectly earn assist credit for kills they didn't contribute to. Fictional with healing tomb perk, not healing when exiting early with the right mouse button. And finally, some general bug fixes and updates. See if we can find anything juicy in here. It looks like they've gone through the PTR and found some bugs and tried to address them straight away. Like this one. Fix the bug causing players to occasionally get moved on top of lost presents as they are looting. Adjusted the stats on the Winter Warrior to be less punishing to solo players. Resolved an issue where players could interact with the gift pile in settlements without limit for reputation. Lots of quest fixes, it seems. Fixed an issue where hapless Hal was buried in snow in Windswood. I love things like this. Oh, this is quite big. Fixed an issue where players could clip through the walls of the war camps. Nothing too juicy. Fixed an issue where players were able to leave outpost rush starting zone early. Just general bug fixes and just general things being addressed and sorted out. Some of the stuff we've already read as well. Okay. Remove corrupted shards and lowstone. Yep. Okay. I don't think there's anything major in here that is mega exciting.